Okay. Pull the mic. There we go. Alright. We're back. Okay, so welcome to the stream. We are going to we're going to ditch this RSI real quick, and we're going to talk about some Bollinger Bands. Let's go ahead and pull that up here. Okay, so Bollinger Bands, basically you've got three lines. It's a zone that follows the candles. And you've got the upper band, which can signify, an overbought area. So when price reaches the top line, you can look for a candlestick pattern to bounce back. We've got the lower band that signals, or it can signal, a oversold position. So if price reaches down to the lower band, we're looking for some type of pattern to show a reversal or a bounce off that bottom. Then we've got our moving average in the middle. And sometimes you can get some bounces off the moving average too, but mainly we're focusing on the outside bands. And today we'll talk about squeezes, reversals, breakouts, fake breakouts. So I want a bigger band here. Let's not stick with the 7, let's look what the 50 does here. Let's see here. Okay, this might not be too bad. I'll stick with the 10-second time frame. We'll have 30-second expiration. And we're back on the demo account. We're just trying some stuff out today. So first, let's decide what we want to trade. Right now we're on the Australian, Swiss. Looks like we kind of broke through here, and then we had some bounce back. Retested at the lower band and then shot up. So maybe we could catch one of those. Before we start, let's browse around. Let's see what other pairs are doing. The AuldCAD. Okay, that's not looking too bad. You can see a point here where it was squeezing. The price didn't know what it wants to do. And then finally, boom, it shifted out. No, let's find something else. Let's go with Australia, New Zealand. Okay, it's kind of getting squeezed right here. You probably don't want to trade the squeeze. Those are more risky. And it can go either way. It's really hard to tell which way. Okay, then here's Australian USD. Yeah. This one's giving us some good bouncing around. It wanted to squeeze here, but then it broke down. So let's kind of see what we got here. I also want to add an oscillator. You can choose your favorite oscillator, whatever you want. I'm probably going to go with, let's try the stochastic RSI today. Just to kind of help us identify some momentum. And especially our divergences too. You see we've got price lower, momentum going up. Let's go with 100, and I think we'll be good for a 30-second up. We're reaching back in. So if this can prove to us as support, we can get that one. The price is not showing. Okay, here we go. 10 seconds left. So far it's just hanging around on the bottom band. We might be alright right here. 3, 2, 1, and we got it. Very good. Alright, first one is pretty good. I can explain it. You see we broke out, we kind of squeezed in here, then we broke back out. Price was staying relatively the same, at the same level, dipping low, but our momentum here was rising. Plus, we saw that price broke back through and was supported by the lower band. That kind of gave us our confluence, and we went in on it. So that's the kind of stuff we want to look for when we're using Bollinger Bands. Here's another good example here. You can see momentum coming down as price is stretching and rising through. We break back through, it becomes support, and right about here, momentum's still coming down while it proved to be resistance, our upper band. That would have been a good entry there too for a down. Alright, let's not miss any more here. So this band can still hold as support for us. Let's just kind of keep an eye on it. Are there any significant levels we should be looking at? Let's see. Maybe this right here looks like an area. Price tends to fall to. Let's do it like that. So it could break back down, and then momentum could stay getting higher, at higher lows, while price continues to hit this line. Okay, this is the dollar. I don't want to forget that. Okay, here we go. Coming back down. But momentum is dropping as well. So for this one, we could be watching for a bounce off the moving average, actually. Since we've broken back through the lower band here. Now we've touched our level, our zone of significance. Yeah, see, we're going back to the moving average. We could catch a bounce right here. It's going up higher. Let's see. Let's catch a bounce off the top end if we can. Let's do that. Okay. So theoretically, this would prove as resistance. And if price can't break through, it's going to come back down, bouncing. Because we can see our momentum is fading. And that's good for a down. So we got 3 seconds left. We're right on the line. Oh, this is going to be close. Yes. Okay. 2 for 2. Got another win. But you know, it looks like it wants to form as support now. Let's see if it's a fake out. I don't want to rush the next trade. You see our moving average is kind of leveling out here. Just got a nice engulfment of the red candle here. Okay, while that's playing out, let's see what else we've got. We got to remember that Australian dollar. Okay, let's go to Australian Canadian. Get these out of the way here. Nah, squeezing too much. I don't want to play with that. Let's go back to the New Zealand. Okay, volatility is getting pretty wild here because we're not stretching, or we're not squeezing anymore. We're stretching. So momentum is shifting up pretty quickly right here, we can see. And price is moving as well. So this is not a solid indicator, but if this forms as support, we can definitely use that to our advantage. So let's see if we can get another bounce here. You know, when the bars are so wide, or when the bands are so wide, you know, it can very well just go straight up to the top, because that means the volatility is pretty crazy. And it looks like that's what it's about to do. So if we do touch the top here, like we're about to do, we can either look for a divergence with our oscillator and the candle pattern, or we can see if we got some retesting here, some breakout and retesting. This is a significant level, so it's going to be hard to break out of this area, it looks like. So let's wait for a bounce back down. And if we can close below this upper band, bounce off, come down, we'll try to go for a down. Yeah, look, it doesn't want to break this level. Okay, see, might be coming back down. Momentum is fading. Let's see if it'll pierce right here. Wow, it wants to bounce instead. Okay. I guess momentum's pretty high, maybe, but yeah, here we go. We'll start to pierce through. Wow, look at that, holding as support. Oh, okay. Price stretches higher, we get a lower momentum peak. That'd be a good divergence. I don't know, price seems to be fading along with the momentum. Let's just wait and see. Okay, setting up pretty nice. Got our first peaks here. And our moving average is kind of shifting up. We want to see something like this. Maybe something like that kind of. We've already got our momentum looking good. It's going down. But I don't think price wants to give that to us. So let's wait for the bounce off the upper band, and we'll do a put. It doesn't want to retest yet. It just slipped right through. See, if this wasn't a bad move actually right there with the double top almost. It's a little bit further than I would like it. These are some pretty good hammers right there, but you know, you don't want to know, or you don't want to go until you know. Exactly. So we're going to get this bounce off the top, I believe. Our momentum is low. Yeah, I think we just missed our bounce. That was ideal there to get into. I was too busy talking. I'm itching to go check on the Australian USD, but I want to see how this finishes with the bottom band. Momentum's fading, price is fading. Well, okay, momentum might be rising on us if we get a price fade. Okay, now let's go check out the Australian USD. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we were doing good with this one. Another decent move here. We had the divergence show with the retest off the upper band and shoot down. That's a pretty good one. This one just wants to take off. That's not what we want. Okay, let's see. If we can get a lower momentum here, higher price, that's what we want. Let's see what we've got. Wait for the next candle. Ooh, lower momentum and a higher price. Let's give that a shot. Okay, 20 seconds to go. It's hovering the line. Okay. Looks like momentum still wants to hang down. We've kind of got a little, oh, right there. Oh, nice. 3 for 3. We just barely got that one, but you can see price is, you know, it's wanting to reach back to this line. So I think that was pretty solid anyways. It didn't break through yet, but we can see we have a lot of action on top of the line, a lot of action on the bottom. So I figured momentum was pretty good there. Nice, now we're 3 out of 3. And now we can still watch for lower momentum. If we can get a pierce through the upper band. But it's just using it as support right now, so we may not get that soon. It's just going sideways. Okay, here we go. Yeah. So now if we can get a candle pattern to form and bounce off of the upper bands. So watch prices rising up to the top. See how momentum reacts. Okay. I think that's going to be a fake out here. It's quite hard to tell. Look. So we've got some zones up here that price was hanging on to. But there we go. What goes up must come down. And there we go. Okay. So we've pierced back through. Let's see if it's going to give us a candle pattern. We're looking for anything here. Momentum's coming down. Price doesn't really know what it wants to do. Okay, let's see what we got. I wouldn't consider that a bounce. So, and that long wick makes us think we're not gonna have a straightaway bounce. But yeah, look at that. Price is not finished here. All right, let's go back to the Australian dollar. Oof, did we miss this one? Yeah. It might still be good, so we can watch for the same pattern forming here. It's hitting our level up top. That's our zone. Is it going to give us a pattern? Okay, let's just wait a couple more candles. It's probably going to show something right here. We've pierced back through. If we can get maybe an engulfing or a few wicks. Price does what it wants to do. Okay. Let's now okay, the same situation but the opposite. So now let's just wait for the pierce back through. We've closed below the band here. We just need, ideally you want a whole candle to close above the band, but you know, we'll see what we got. Okay, there's a nice wick. We could try for an up here. I think this candle's gonna close above. And we see momentum coming up. I may have jumped the gun here, but I think we'll be alright. Ten seconds. We're hovering at our entry point. This one's going to be close. Come on, 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oh, right on the line. Wow, okay, and look at that. Okay, no problem. We're 3 for 4. See, I jumped the gun. We didn't get a full candle close above because price is still deciding what it wants to do. There's a battle right here. So we can still wait for this higher low. Lower low on the price, higher low on our oscillator. And I'll do the same thing. 100. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there. Got our momentum. Boy. Wow, that tricked me. You know, that could have been manipulation or something, just straight closing us down. A little liquidity grab. Well, let's see, hopefully momentum will take us back up. We got 5 seconds. It's not looking too good, but you never know. Okay. 3 for 5, that's still good. See, you know, that was a good divergence there. But sometimes there's a better one that comes later. You see that huge manipulation candle. And then an even better divergence. You get one here and there. That would have been nice. But you win some, you lose some. Don't cry about it. Let's see what the Canadian is doing again. I'm going to change up my oscillator. Let's go with the RSI instead. That's my baby. I don't like that. Let's go to the Swiss. Yeah, it's having a lot of squeezing and breakouts. I don't want to play with that. Japanese not looking too bad here. Got some good ups and downs. Let's play with this one for a minute. A pretty decent move back here. See? The crossover. Closed up, could have got in right there. This one wasn't too bad, but not ideal. For a current price, it seems momentum's pretty high right now. See, it's over the 70. You know, if I get a cross down, maybe we could get something here. Wow, look at this. It's just taking off. Momentum and price is taking off, so I don't want to mess with that one. See, look, momentum coming up. There we go. That's what we wanted earlier. Yeah, that was a good one here. Could have got a nice one, nice run up here, breakthrough. It still might continue. Because right here, we're at a really solid support level. Let me draw it. Right here. And yeah, it can either break through or stick with it. Let's see. Let's identify our trend, our recent trend here. It's going straight down, so there's a struggle. Right here it's pinching, it's squeezing, so there's probably going to be some type of big move soon. I don't really want to try to catch that. It's pretty risky, but sometimes momentum can give us a little indication of what it wants to do. See? I like these green wicks on the bottom, so let's give it a shot here. It's really holding that level. We've got a lot of nice wicks. See, price kind of breaks down to this level and then boom, shoots up. Breaks down, boom. Breaks down, boom. So I think we've got a good chance here. 5 seconds left and we're looking really good here, yeah. Nice. Alright, so we got that one pretty solid. What was that, 4 out of 6? Yeah, you see, price just couldn't break through this level. And that's really good to remember for our next one. Because it might give us a repeat here. See, these two crosses in a row, that was really indecisive, but I used this support level as another piece of confluence. And now we've got a solid crossover on the momentum, so I think it's done. It's done moving, look at that. So right here, it couldn't, right here it could not break the trend, and it couldn't break our support level. And then finally it squeezed, 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 and then it broke right out. No way anybody could have identified that. It's 50-50. But you can see everything came to a nice point here. And boom, now our bands are going to open up. But now we can just identify a new level over here. Let's go ahead and mark it. Let's do about like that. There's some more significance over here. Support. Okay. So here we broke really low. And we've got a lot of fair value gaps to refill, which price is doing right now. But this is most likely going to be a downtrend, so we can look for another put. Let's just do it like that. See, it broke above, but it didn't want to break all the way through. Because this line was, you know, double downing on price. think we might be good for another put. However, but if price sweeps this lower low, or this last low, grab some liquidity, we might can ride it back up with a call. I gotta get at least to here before I even consider it. Okay, hit the area. Yeah, see. Momentum moved up pretty high. It broke above the 30 here. But I think this trend line is still pretty strong, and price just wants to keep pushing down. So let's see. See if we can get a full candle to close above our lower band. Okay, we might have one now. And then this could turn into resistance for us. That was a very significant line. And it basically retested this zone with the double lines. So I think if we can get in this zone, we can go for a put. But as always, price can do what it wants. We're just hopeful thinking. We've got our plan. Price may not do what we want it to do, of course. Broke out, now it's using it as support, this trend line. If we can get a couple more candles to close above without breaking through, then we might can catch these bounces in between these two lines. Almost to our zone. Ideally, this would be a good zone. Yep. Let's see. And if momentum gives us a, oof. Yeah, that was good. With a wick. So these peaks are, this one's a little bit higher, so I don't like that actually. We can be patient and wait for another touch of the upper zone. Because now you can see this other trend forming. Kind of got something coming up like this. I'll bring it out a little bit. Momentum's still about right in the middle. So price could just range like this actually for a few more candles in this range. Okay, momentum is up, it bounced off the middle, and I believe we're still going to have some room up here to go. So I'm going to try for an up here. Let me refresh. I'm just kind of trying to predict this. A little against my rules, but let's see what we got. Three seconds to go, and I think we don't. Oh, yes, we just barely got that one. And you see, price still wants to fill in this area. So it's respecting this trend. I'm gonna let it give it a second. Let it do what it wants for a minute. Yep, see, there it goes. It's hitting our zone. Now, we might get a breakdown here. Momentum just barely hanging out. What we want to see is momentum closing further down and getting denied right at this level. If we don't see that, then we could get the breakout, and then we have to wait for the retest. You see how we were squeezing here? Broke out. We rode the trend back up. See, okay, we got the rejection right here. And a crossover. So right at that point, it decided exactly what it wants to do. Yeah, we'll bounce off the MA. This might be good for another down. We got momentum shifting below the 50 and getting rejected. And of course, ideally, we want price to reach the same level or higher while momentum falls. Okay, so we're going to reach this line down here. Reapproaching, but you can see the bands are also squeezing. It's going to start getting risky here. It's approaching our level. Let's see if we got that momentum drop. We'll try for a down. But, you know, the bands are risky right now, so... Ooh, that's a nice wick. I'm going to try that one. Let me refresh. Okay, so that was a pretty good wick right there. We got another rejection in the same level. It reached our area, our zone. 10 seconds left. Momentum's coming up. You know, that's not exactly what we want to see, as you can tell by the hovering around our entry point. 2 seconds to go. Right on the line. Right on the line, guys. That's okay. It's all right. It's just a demo account here. If I had been a few seconds earlier, that would have been okay. It's really playing with our zone here. You see, the squeezing just makes it so risky. So let's just avoid this. Go back to our favorite of the day. Whew. Look at that. Broke through and just boom, fell straight down. I'm not touching that. It's a pretty good movement here. Price hits the top. Divergence down, we've got a lower move. Price hit the same level, divergence going up, broke through. Here as well, not so much. Okay. Momentum's coming up here. As price is coming up too. Okay, it's not looking too bad right here. Up. Yeah, This will be probably my last trade of the day. So let's just see what we can come up with. Bounce off the SMA in the middle. Yeah, it's got a pretty good distance between the entry point and current price, so 10 seconds I think will be all right. But you know, price can move fast. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Whew. Got it. Nailed that one. We had a nice doji, and the bar closed above the band. So I considered that was going to hang up for a while. Plus our momentum was driving up, and I think that's going to be good. That'll be the last trade there. So yeah, so let's recap. I think that was about 8 trades, and maybe we lost 2, 3. So Bollinger Bands, I hope you understand a little bit more now, and it works really well with an oscillator. So thanks for checking me out, and happy trading. See you next time.